What's good, YouTube? We got more law and crime.
You know, you are going to be placed under arrest.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You're Allie, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And it's going to be for predatory criminal sexual assault.
We have the newly released body camera video of the moment a substitute teacher is arrested for having sex with an 11-year-old boy.
Taking my kids.
Allie Bardfield admitted
kids?
to having sex with that boy and
She
is now
admitted
serving
it?
prison time. But she wasn't always honest in this investigation, and the body camera video proves that. I'll show you what she told detectives at her front door and how she blamed the victim in this case. We're on the case, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Chris Stewart.
Chat, can she really blame the victim? Because she's older than that nigga. And I feel like she could stop it before he stopped it. She the teacher too at that. You know what's crazy? Growing up as a kid, I done had like probably 2 attractive teachers in my life. Probably 3. And that's about it. But as I got older and got a high, I ain't really had no attractive teachers in high school. And I'm trying to figure out how these new age teachers is out here smashing the students, bro. When did it become a thing? And that's heavy in the news a lot lately. It always be like the bad teachers. Like, I'm talking about fine shit teachers. And they be like, oh my God, it wasn't me, it was the student. You doing it. Coochie out of those students. That's what it is. Why was that happening, bro?
Allie Bardfield entered a guilty plea for having sex with an 11-year-old student
11?
of hers. It is
How old
a
is
shocking
she?
story. And what's even more shocking is how she tried to play it when detectives arrived at her front door. Before I get to that body camera video, here is...
I don't know if she can really blame that on a student. She look at least in her 30s to 40s. 11-year-old? You gotta think about when we be watching Kai, and Rakai is only like 16. He be saying some off the wall shit at just 16. So imagine at 11. She gave that pussy up. She gave that coochie. Gave it up.
Bardfield in court in Macon County, Illinois, where all of this took place, about 3 hours south of Chicago. This is the hearing where Bardfield admitted to abusing her student who is just 11 years old. But Bardfield wasn't always truthful to law enforcement in this investigation. This is the body camera video of the day that she was arrested in April of last year. Now, part of the audio is redacted, which is why you'll hear it drop out at times.
Okay.
638.
We can't answer the door right now, but if you'd like to leave a message, do it now.
Hi. Hey, how are you? Hey, is Allie home?
Yeah.
Okay.
What happened to the volume?
Sheriff's Office, I'm assisting the Mount Police Department. How many kids are home?
3.
3
Why?
kids? Okay, just you guys and the kids? Okay.
And
Because-
someone else.
Yeah, it's my brother.
Chad, I ain't gonna lie, the way Allie came to that door just now, it looked like she was suspicious and knew what the fuck was up. She was like, oh shit, here we go. Why you here? What's going on? Everything good? Is it cool? I ain't do no shit, huh? You did some shit, Allie. They got you. You caught. Info-K.
Okay. So here's the thing. We have a search warrant for the house, okay? You know, you are going to be placed under arrest.
Me?
Yes,
You're
you-
Allie, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And it's going to be for predatory criminal sexual assault too.
We don't know if they don't stop blocking this shit,
Okay,
just
so
cut it.
that's why we're here, to take a look, to make sure we gather what we need out of the house, okay?
For what?
Yeah,
You
so
know what the
I'll
fuck
talk to
you
more
did,
about it in
Allie.
a second, okay? As a matter of fact, if you guys want to go in and start doing
Can
that,
I put the dogs up?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, please.
We're gonna have to follow you in though,
Yeah.
just to make sure. Okay, you have your phone with you?
One's a German Shepherd, so.
Okay. James, you want to stay here with me?
So you can see Bardfield acting confused and shocked as to why detectives are at her door accusing her of sexual abuse and grooming. This is going on around 4:30 in the afternoon on April 3rd, 2024. The day prior, detectives say an 11-year-old came to the police station with his parents saying Bardfield, his 6th grade teacher, sexually assaulted him. Bardfield worked in the Decatur, Illinois school system. She was considered a long-term substitute teacher for the 6th grade class. She gave off the fun teacher vibes on social media. Here she is on TikTok with a young girl. Now, hours before her arrest, police say the 11-year-old boy did an interview with a specialist to talk about the abuse. Deputies also collected a sexual assault kit from the victim. Now, here's more of what the detective told Bardfield at her front door when she was arrested.
I'm going to explain some things to you, okay? First off, I have to read your rights, okay, so that I can talk to you, okay? You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say or do will be used against you in court. You have the right to an attorney, and if you can't afford one will be appointed to represent you free of any cost to you. Do you understand that? Okay. Have you ever been in trouble before?
Never.
Okay. I'm going to give you an opportunity to explain, but
a whole lot of salt in that water.
Okay. We've got a significant amount of evidence to include the conversation that you had with.
Chad, you know what I just peeped to with this whole situation? If that nigga young as shit, he is going around the school telling every fucking body. Abigail, I forgot what the fuck your name is, Miss Teacher Lady. He probably think you the hottest shit in the school. That nigga's telling every fucking body, bro. He's telling every fucking. That nigga only 11. You know how much testosterone that nigga got built up? Nigga fucking the teacher. He's showing that video to everybody. Him letting that shit out on your back. He's showing that shit. Him licking on your titties, Miss Teacher Lady. Substitute. He's showing that shit to every fucking body. That nigga done finessed your ass. And you don't even know it. And you saying it's his fault. That nigga is fucking 11. What the fuck?
According to the court documents we have, at her front door, Bardfield denied having sex with the boy. The audio is redacted at that point, but you heard the detective say they had a considerable amount of evidence, including a conversation that Bardfield had. Now, he's likely talking about the conversation Bardfield had with the boy earlier that day, just hours before all of this harded after his forensic interview. Police say that they and the boy's parents were listening in on a text, a voice call, and a FaceTime that Bardfield had with the young boy. They say during those conversations, Bardfield talked about birth control and pregnancy. She also told the boy
what the fuck? Chat, she letting this 11-year-old bust nuts and shoot the fucking club up in GTA? Chat, what the fuck, bro? I thought the Pop the Balloon was a shit show. Nah. Miss Barfield, you running a shit show over there. You let an 11-year-old shoot your 40-year-old fucking club up? How fucking strategic is that? It's not, Miss motherfucking Blowfield, whatever the fuck your name is.
delete text messages, and then they moved on to a phone call. And during that call, Bardfield told the boy that she could not get pregnant. She is talking with an 11-year-old. She is in her 30s. Now, police say on March 29th, 2024, Bardfield had that 6th grade student, her victim, over to her house. It was for a play date. That child's mom noticed her son acting differently after the visit, though. According to police, the mom then checked her son's phone.
Oh, chat. Oh my gosh, she got a Ring camera. All they gotta do is check the video footage. Bro, I got a camera outside of my crib. That shit go back far. I was scrolling through that bitch just to try to delete some shit so I can at least have some space on that motherfucker. That shit go back far. Bro, if they find a clip of him going into her house, she is fucking cooked. She's already cooked. She is fucking baked if they find that clip. She already cooked for the simple fact that they've been getting caught on phone conversations by his parents. So, Miss Barfield, your ass is cooked. But they see that video footage of him going into your house for them fucking play dates. Your ass is baked like a cake, Barfield. And I don't know what the fuck a Barfield is, but you are a fucking Barfield. The fuck?
social media, and when they talked more about what happened, the boy said that Bardfield had sex with him. Not only did Bardfield reportedly have sex with that boy, she also sent him $700 on Cash App. She bought him headphones that go for more than $400. She also sent
I told y'all this little nigga was finessing the fucking system, and I'm not even gonna fucking say W kid, but he was very strategic in his ways. As a fucking 11-year-old, I didn't even know 11-year-olds was that strategic, but he's very fucking strategic. He's fucking a substitute teacher. He's going around a school letting everybody know he's fucking Miss Bartfield. Doggy styling the fuck out of Bartfield. Busting nuts. And I ain't even at first, I wasn't even gonna say he was busting nuts on her back, but clearly he's letting them fucking kids spread on Miss Bartfield back. You wild, dirty substitute lady, bitch. Damn. I didn't want to say that, but damn, you nasty. Bro, I told y'all this little nigga feel the mad testosterone, bro. He's only 11. This nigga's going around school feeling like the motherfucking Mac after Miss Bartfield let him shoot that motherfucking club up, chat. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Miss Bartfield, your ass is burnt crispy. You not cooked. This shit is burnt. You done burnt the fucking house down, nigga.
Photos to him on Snapchat. Here's the moment Bardfield is led away after this story gets even more shocking.
I'm
Are
going to
you
talk to her
taking
real
my
quick, and
kids?
she'll be able to talk to you. No, I'll talk to you here about that. So that lady up there is with these.
Oh my
Listen,
God.
no, but listen. She's with these hip ass. It doesn't mean she's taking your kids. Okay?
Make a nice have show us secure out here.
We are going to give you know, how you raise your kids and what goes on.
Oh my God, you're my life.
Sit in the back because I want to be out of the wind and air. Okay. And I'm going to have you have a seat in this second vehicle here.
Showing registered 56 and a half, 10,300. OP revoked.
Which seat?
This up, right up here.
Bartfield shaking at her motherfucking boots, man.
Good,
Literally.
Yep.
So here's the thing, okay? You work for Hope.
Bardfield then gets into a police vehicle to talk to detectives. The audio is redacted, but according to court documents that we have, this is what she said. At
We
first,
need to
she
actually
once again
hear that
denied having sex with the boy, but then the detective said he had seen the nude pictures that she sent the boy on Snapchat, and when asked why she would send nude photographs, a teacher in her 30s, to a boy just 11 years old, she said, quote, he kept asking and asking and asking.
Allie, don't you got young ass kids? When them motherfuckers keep asking you and asking you and asking you for shit, to the parents out there, I don't have kids, but I got nieces and nephews and cousins, and they little at that. Them motherfuckers will ask me. My nephew just asked me, could I buy him some fucking Kobe's? You know how high some fucking Kobe's is? I want some Grinches bad as shit. Am I gonna pay for that shit? Fuck no, nigga, I'm not. Am I gonna buy you some Kobe's? I might, nigga. You kept asking me, so I said if your grade's good, I will. But the money a little light, so I ain't buy you no Kobe's, nigga. But I'ma still buy you some Kobe's, cause I fuck with you, bro. But nigga, if the nigga keep asking me, that's like, nigga, I got my mom and I'm just asking her, mama, can I do this? Can I go that? Mom. She gonna be like, nigga, what the fuck? No, I told your dumb ass, no, you keep asking me that stupid ass. She gonna thump me in my fucking forehead, nigga. And I got to some points where my mama said yeah, but I know my mama gonna say no. So why the fuck this young ass jit keep asking you for nude pictures and shit? You already telling them no. What got you to ease in to say yeah? I'm about to get this little nigga rocks off. What the fuck? Chat. This shit getting mind-boggling. Deeper we keep going to these videos, it get more mind-boggling. What the fuck is going on, bro?
And wouldn't leave me alone. The document also states that the victim had sent the teacher explicit.
This little nigga harassed the grown ass adult substitute teacher and sending him nudes. How the fuck he outsmart this grown ass woman? This nigga no ball. And she don't know ball. Why the fuck did she get on his court? This slick ass nigga.
Pictures. Well, if you ever notice how some habits just sneak into your day without you even realizing it, for a lot of people, that means reaching for something on autopilot because you're stressed or run down, even though you know it's not good for you, which is why I want to tell you about our sponsor, Fume. It's an award-winning flavored air device that is great for combating oral fixation.
What is that gonna do for me, bro?
Scan the QR code on your screen to
I'm
get
not
yours
sucking
today.
on that
In
shit.
the body camera video that the audio is redacted from, we can see the moments in this conversation inside the cruiser that police are laying out the evidence they have against her. And you can see her put her head
She
in her
guilt crying.
hands as she realizes what her fate is likely going to be. It is notable that Bardfield tried multiple times to say that the boy made advances on her, that all of this was the 11-year-old's fault. At the end of this part of the conversation, Bardfield, according to court documents, was asked about how she was feeling. And she replies, quote, "I have my criminal
Bardfield, your ass
justice
should
degree.
feel
I'm
baked,
in my
crispy,
master's
burnt.
program.
You
This
cooked.
isn't how I want
You
my
cooked.
life to be. But I didn't want the victim to feel uncomfortable as I felt uncomfortable. But I was just trying to act like..."
Chat, she had to ease off that edge. Unfortunately, her ease off the edge, she burnt the fuck off that shit. She was supposed to only cut the edge and she burnt the fuck out the toast and had to just throw that shit in the trash. She still ate that shit, sadly, with her. That was the last piece of bread she had. Allie, you like the woman off the motherfucking Tyler Oliver video that I just reacted to earlier. Your ass just don't get it. You just don't get it.
like nothing happened and just be there for him. At the end of the conversation in the cruiser, police say that Bardfield threatened to take her own life. She was then handcuffed and taken to the county jail.
Gaslight.
And from that moment on, Bardfield was held without bond. Per WAND TV, here's the moment the judge at her first court appearance told her what the punishment could be for the charges.
Bardfield, your ass done got caught with a minor and got put into the crazy house because you said you was about to, in GTA, end it all. Why the fuck? What about them kids? How old is your kid? If you got an 11-year-old at the crib, you are fucking sick. What the fuck am I watching, bro? Chat, bro. I'm glad we about to end this for the night, cause my brain can't take no more of this shit for the night, bro. I can't.
That she faced.
It's a Class X felony, punishable by 6 to 60 years in the Department of Corrections. That would be served at 85%. Followed by a mandatory supervised release of 3 years up to natural life.
Damn.
And up to a $25,000 fine. It is not a probation eligible offense.
She ain't got that shit.
And if
Substitute.
convicted, you would have to register as a sex offender for the rest of your natural life.
Damn.
Then in August
What
of
about
this
her
year,
kids?
Bardfield pleaded guilty to having sex with that boy. The state is now asking for a max 40 years in prison
Damn.
in this plea deal, opposed to the 60 years that she could have faced if found guilty at trial. As far as the Decatur Public School District,
she
where
got it.
Bard...
She got goddamn a 10-year sentence booked off that motherfucker. That's it. She still got to do the whole other 50. Instead of doing 60, she got to do 50. That is not a fucking win, chat. I'm not gonna lie. Either way it goes, she is fucking cooked. She is in her mid-30s right now. She gonna be old as shit when she get back to the crib.
Bardfield worked. I reached out for comment in the wake
she get
of her
back.
guilty plea. They told me since they weren't a party in that criminal case, they wouldn't comment. They did fire Bardfield after her arrest. The victim and his family, though, are suing the school district,
Damn.
and they claim what happened was not an isolated incident. I spoke to a
An 11-year-old finessed the fuck out of the system. He got some coochie out of it. The substitute teacher. Now, I'm not saying it's like this shit cool, because that shit not cool. That's fucked up. But that nigga got mad brownie points off that shit. I don't even know how you get brownie points off some shit like that. But apparently, Lil Timmy, he got fucking brownie points. That nigga got some in-school coochie from the substitute teacher that's in her fucking 30s. He only 11. Nigga recorded it. Cum shots on the back and shit. Showing it to the school. Parents find out. Sue the fuck out of her. She get fired and go to jail for half of her fucking life. Basically the rest of this shit. So when she get back home, she gonna be old as shit. But moral of the story is that nigga got some pussy. He got some pictures. He got some videos to remember it by. Fuck the teacher. Anybody to sue her and get some money. Yeah, always, let's not forget, she was sending that nigga money and buying them PlayStations and shit like that. That nigga been milking the cow this whole fucking time. He knew what he was doing.
Tim Cunningham, who's representing the family, and this
he
is
was
what he
begging
said about his
and
lawsuit.
still gave
What
it
they
up.
really want to take place, though, is that other kids and other families who may have been a victim of this woman's acts to feel confident that if they come forward, that we can, hold the school district accountable for the lack of supervision that resulted in Ms. Barfield being able to commit these acts.
And does the family believe that there are more victims of Allie Barfield?
I can't speak for the family directly. There has been information that has come to light, some of which has been put into the complaint against the school district that leads us to believe that there may be more victims of Miss Barfield, and there are likely more victims of abuse and harassment by faculty in the Decatur public school system against students.
When Barfield was arrested,
Barfield, your ass is overly crisp. Your ass is overly crisp. They can't even scrape that shit. They gotta just throw that shit out and make a new one. This shit old with. That shit, man, Allie, your shit is fucking cooked for real. I don't think there's no way that you can come back from this, considering the fact that you went from 60 to 50 years. You still fucked, cause they're alleging that you fucked multiple students. You probably did at this point. If they begging, your ass is going. You shouldn't have been going. You should have thought with your right instinct and not your second instinct. That's what you fucked up at. Secondly, Allie, I would say you can get clear of other allegations, but as deep as this shit is right now, them other allegations gonna eat your ass up probably. You gonna get more time added to your sentence. Your ass is fucking burnt, Allie. It's fucking over with. And you done lost
he said,
job.
according to court documents,
And
that no
sued.
other people would be coming forward saying that she
done got
sexually
fucked.
abused them. It's important to remember when she was confronted with these allegations, it wasn't until detectives laid out their evidence that she admitted what she was saying originally was a lie. She'll be sentenced on September 25th. Joining us now to talk about this is prosecutor and former...
She just cooked my fucking mind. So she said it was a lie at first, then she admitted to it, then said that shit she admitted to was a lie. So she been lying this whole time. We don't know what's false and what's true. 9 times out of 10, she fucked that minor. That's probably the most truest thing out of that. She is fucking sick, bro. What?
For Deputy Attorney General of Ohio, Mark
Allie.
Weaver, thank you as always for being with us on Law and Crime. If you were a prosecutor on this case and you watched that body cam video of Allie Barfield, what would stand out to you?
Well, it's very good body cam footage. We can see exactly what happened. The sheriff's deputies were extremely professional in the way they executed the search warrant. She gave it up pretty quickly. She told the truth pretty quickly.
Gave that shit up smooth.
Initially, she denied having sex with this child, but pretty soon when they let her know that they had recorded calls, they had text messages, there's a great case here. I wish all of the sex cases that I prosecute had as much evidence as this one. This is a pretty airtight case.
Because when you look at, she'll be sentenced later this month, and in the beginning, and we watch it now in hindsight, knowing the evidence that prosecutors and detectives had in this case, and there was a lot. And she initially is like, "Well, I've never been in trouble. I'm like my house, me," and then she, after that, seems to almost blame the victim a bit, saying that he was the one who wanted explicit messages, which, like, we're talking about an 11-year-old. It's so hard to wrap your mind around. How could those statements made back in 2024 impact how a judge goes forward with whether accepting this plea deal and giving her the maximum, which I believe the state is asking for 40 years?
Yeah, the top end is 40 years. It could have been 60 years, depending on whether some of these counts would have merged and how many different sexual encounters there were. A jury would have hated her when they found out that she essentially claimed that this child, this 11-year-old little boy, a 6th grader, was somehow the instigator. A judge won't like that either. I'm going to guess that her defense lawyer is going to coach her up ahead of the sentencing, have her come in there and reel back in any notion that this was the child's fault. But this is what we see with some of these sex predators. They don't see that what they're doing is wrong. They're just acting out their fantasies. They're being the person they want to be. And mind you, she's got a degree in criminal justice and is working on a master's degree. So the notion that she doesn't know somehow that this is illegal is preposterous.
It really is, and preposterous is a good word, because just reading through the court documents and the affidavit, and you see some of the statements she's making, and you're just like, what planet are you living on? And frankly, just hearing it, like, and even the line where she talked about having a criminal justice degree, and she's like, I just wanted to make him feel comfortable, or something on those lines, and you're like, what is, just as far as not from the legal standpoint, you're like, what are you talking about? When it comes to that hearing, and if she does give this emotional, statement in front of the court, how could that impact what the judge decides? Because often, I see those hearings and the judge, it looks like he looks over something for maybe a couple minutes and then makes his decision. Is there what impact could a statement from her, even if it's really good, have on what her sentence could be?
I've been in front of a lot of judges sentencing a lot of sex offenders over the years. And these judges typically come into the sentencing hearing with their mind made up. They have written out the words they have to say in order to make sure that the sentence sticks. And occasionally something a victim says or something the defendant says, you'll see the judge adjust it, reach over with a pen and maybe scratch something out or maybe fill in a blank. But most judges are ready with an idea of what they want to do before they even set foot, and then only in these marginal cases do they change it. Judges are also really good at seeing through sort of courtroom conversions, right? When you read what she said she admitted to, and when you watch the footage of the warrant call the police did, that's when you see the real person. The person in court has been, properly dressed and properly coached and is reading from a script. Good judges know that the way the defendant appears in court is often a put on.
So she'll end up, 20 years off of what she could have received as the max if she was found guilty if she took this to trial. Just reading through the court documents of all the evidence, just even extending explicit pictures, which police have, to an 11-year-old boy, why make a deal when it seems like you would have had her dead to rights if you were a prosecutor?
In nearly every case where a prosecutor pleads a child sex case out, it's two basic reasons. One is certainty of conviction, which I think would have been present here anyway, but more importantly, not making an 11, he's probably 12-year-old boy soon, sit in a witness stand in front of a bunch of strangers and say what happened in the most embarrassing thing in his life. You're always trying to protect the child from re-victimization. And that's a key thing. This woman is not going to get 40 years, and I'm not suggesting what she did was good. I've prosecuted all sorts of people who molested children all the way down to as young as 2 years old. And given this circumstance, the judge will not send her for 40. She will get 10 or 15. I don't know the judge. But that would be more typical for a one-victim child sex offender like this woman.
Even if it's one where because I'm sure for people, that's what it's been reported, that it was like a max of 40 years, and then if a judge goes down to 10, what impact could the fact that she was a teacher, she's given this position of power to, and anybody who is an adult who's accused of these crimes or convicted of these crimes, they had a position of power over a child, but she was an educator, she did it. How does that factor into how some of these cases play out in terms of the sentencing?
Yeah, Chris, I want to be clear. I'm certainly hoping she gets a longer sentence. I've just observed enough of these over the years, and the judges have as well. I prosecuted a child sex offender a year or two ago who had sex with his girlfriend.
Chat. I kind of feel what he's saying. I feel like she might not get. I was over here saying she went from 60 to 50. She got 20 knocked off, so that ain't bad. It's still bad. She got to be in that bitch for 40 years. But I feel like she could get that 40, though. Depending on the fact that she lied, she might get that 40, bro. But they could end up lowering her sentence. And just because I don't want to make this a whole race thing, but you see what race she is. And on top of that, I don't know. I just feel like it's something in this where they gonna lower that sentence, bro. But I do agree with them. She might fuck around and get that 40. For the simple fact that she lied. She lied like 3 fucking times, bro. She might get that 40 plus a month. And if some more people come out, she fucking cooked.
Friend's young daughter every day over several months, 7 days a week over several months. And he got 32 years, 34 years. I'm just comparing that there are degrees of sex offenders out there, but your point is well taken. Somebody who has sex with an 11-year-old should go to prison, and a teacher who has sex with an 11-year-old should go to prison.
Either
for
way
even
it go,
longer.
if it's a
She has
minor, take their ass to jail.
responsibility to not victimize these children who the parents placed in her care.
Right, and that's the part of it too, where it just seems like it's this facade almost. She's a teacher, and then there was this play date because she had children in her house. It's so hard to comprehend, especially.
She would have just said she was fucking that young man for his pleasure and her guilty pleasure. I think it would have made it a little lighter on her sentences. It's still fucked up. I don't agree with that shit. Shit is nasty. Why the fuck are you doing that shit? It ain't me that's doing it, so I don't know. But I don't agree with that shit. But the fact that she told all them fucking lies on that shit and tried to make it seem like it was him winning. That nigga guilt tripped her into doing the shit, and she was old enough to not go with it. She like twice that nigga age. She could have told that nigga, fuck out of here, little boy. She more than twice that nigga age. She low-key quadrupled that nigga age by half. Cause she almost out of them 30. She about to be on 40. That makes it even worse too, bro. All these niggas out here. You mean tell me she couldn't find one guy that's in her age range to fuck with, at least close enough to it? She wouldn't found a minor that guilt tripped her into fucking her. What the fuck, teacher lady?
Especially when it's a teacher or someone like that. And I had great teachers. I think we all have. But then there's just so many of these cases that come up. In your career, what have you seen as far as trying to understand why some of these people will cross a line and frankly blast right past through a line where they're a teacher and then suddenly they're in a situation like Allie Bardfield is?
Part of it is technology. Evil has always been with us since the fall of mankind. So evil's always been around, but the technology allows that evil to permeate in a way it didn't 50 years ago. So when I was a kid, or when you were...
I ain't gonna lie. As I see what he getting to with this. He's saying when we was kids, when he was kids, when she was a kid, we didn't have technology. So we weren't able to get into this type of shit. I feel like that's probably cap. Cause either way it go, if you was into this type of nasty bullshit, you was probably doing that shit and it was tucked under wraps. We see the motherfuckers that was into that type of nasty shit, and now it's getting unswept from underneath the rules, and we starting to know back in the day, y'all was on some weird shit too. At least some of y'all was. Now it's just brought to light with technology. So technology is not her fucking excuse. Her excuse is that she ain't got no fucking morals. That's her fucking excuse. She ain't really got no excuse. Ain't no excuse or alibi for this shit. Her morals is fucked.
For a kid,
standards
a
too.
big moment would be running into your teacher at the grocery store. Like that would be the contact you have. You'd see the teacher in school, and then once in a while you'd see him out in the real world. Now with Snapchat, which she said she was using, and all these other social media devices, and parents who give young children phones and let them take them into the room and close the door, there is a pathway for this evil to take its path towards molesting a child. And then all you have to do is come up with a reason. Let's have a play date, or I'm going to go drive this child somewhere, or I'm going to invite them over. So technology doesn't cause it, but technology allows it to happen in a way that wasn't true 50 years ago.
Because it stood out to me too in the court documents that we have, where she said that she put her phone number up on the wall at school for the 6th graders. And that felt like something of crossing a line, where it's like I could see her giving her phone number to parents, but then giving all these 11-year-olds your phone number, and then she's on Snapchat and on TikTok and on all these different apps.
I would say that's not crossing the line, but the way she acted with that shit, she over here having sexual conversations with these young ass kids. She beyond crossed the fucking line. She could gave them niggas an email. If they know how to text and call, they know how to email. Nigga, you 11, you know how to email some fucking body. I don't know if they teaching these new kids how to email, but teach these fucking new kids how to email. Hopefully there ain't no weird shit going on in the email.
For a teacher, that was a major crossing of the line. There's a civil lawsuit that's playing out right now from the victim's family to the school district, but from a criminal aspect, if, say, a civil suit finds that certain things were not done by the school, they haven't had comment on either the civil or criminal case. But what type of investigation is typically done of a school district after a teacher like this is found guilty to make sure that there isn't some systemic issue within that school district where this could happen more?
Two primary ways of holding schools accountable. Number one is through the civil lawsuit process, where they're going to have to pay money for if they were found to be negligent. And number two is the regulatory process. Whatever Illinois does to regulate schools like this, that ability to take away their school license exists. Rarely is anybody at a school charged criminally for an act that they did not know about. If this school had policies saying don't do this, if it had training, now there's some indication she might not have taken the training, but if they had training saying don't do this, that is typically enough to keep a school from being criminally charged. As a prosecutor, I'm not interested in what the school did unless one of those administrators knew and then didn't tell law enforcement. Then I'm very interested in talking to that person and potentially charging that person.
And in your career, when you've had to prosecute sex cases like this with sexual predators, because I think in our mind, when we think of a sexual predator, there's probably a stereotype that comes in of a man mostly doing it. But then in some of these cases with teachers, you see, in her case, she's in her 30s. She's a young woman who's teaching in school. I mean, have you seen a profile? How does the profile vary of the predators in these cases, maybe beyond the stereotype that has been out there for a long time of when someone thinks of what a sexual predator actually looks like?
Yeah, there's not a profile that's going to help parents at all, but you are right that there are instances of we call them good guy predators, people who are otherwise nice and kind to your children, people who were involved in your child's life in a positive way on the one side, maybe showing up at their games and cheering them on or whatever, or giving them a high five when they get a good grade on the way out of the classroom. But on the other side,
giving them a high five is cool. Now showing up to their games, if you ain't a teacher just showing up to watch the game and it's not at the school, it's like on a regular team they play with outside of school, that's kind of reaching. Because what the fuck are you doing here? Take your ass home. What are you doing? Why are you cheering my kid on? How you even know their ass had a game? Take your ass home. If it's on school facilities, yeah, cool. Come watch the game. Cool. I don't know why the fuck you cheering my kid on like that, but goddamn, you cheering that kid on a little too much, more than me. Just your ass in the back. Second of all, I don't need to have no contact that close with these young ass kids. They need to talk to the parents. Email their ass.
Side, they're taking advantage and victimizing the child. And so parents just need to protect their children. And that means knowing what they're doing and enforcing. This is one of my rules. No adult can be talking to my child without me knowing that topic of conversation. And so this notion that, hey kids, here's my phone number, call me directly, that's inappropriate.
And what is it like for you? And I mean, you having prosecuted one of these cases recently, I think of a plea hearing day where you know, as a prosecutor, a lot of the work, it feels like it's been done. You were able to get a conviction. She's pleading guilty. She's going to go to jail for years. But what is it emotionally like for you waiting to hear what a judge is going to say as far as what that sentence is going to be?
Every time this has happened to me, I really feel for the victims. I meet with them before the hearing and almost always after the hearing. My heart goes out to them. So many people say to me, Mark, how can you prosecute these cases? They're so difficult. They're so tragic. It's because of the victims. It's because someone needs to stand up for them. And so on the day of sentencing, when I know I've already done my job, I might have already prepared my remarks. In some cases, I might be reading the victim statement, or the victim might be reading the victim statement. So I'm certainly interested in what the judge is going to do, but I'm most interested in the victims being comfortable in the courtroom, having their day to say what they want to say, and then getting some small amount of closure.
Knowing that they did have the digital evidence of the conversation she had, the statements that she was even making. I mean, she admitted to it to law enforcement eventually, and then you have the nude photographs that were sent through Snapchat. Had this gone to trial, do you need to have the 11-year-old testify, or would there have been a way to get the conviction without having to put the boy on the stand?
Her admission makes a big difference, right? Because if she had not admitted it and said that they had sex, it would be much harder to prove. You would need him. Here's my problem, though. I have seen juries go sideways for the dumbest things, right? And so they only need one juror. The defense only needs one juror to say not guilty, and the case hangs, and we start all the way over back at square one. And so I worry that one juror sits back there and says, how come we never heard from the kid? Where was that kid? And there's a way to explain it, you know, when you have your victim's advocate on the stand or your investigating officer, you ask them what's the protocol so you don't re-victimize children. But jurors may want to see that. But I think the larger concern here is that a judge is probably not going to give her 40 years. So the notion of pleading it and then taking off 60 down to 40, she's not going to get 40 years. It kept it well within the range of what the prosecutor would like to get anyway.
And then just lastly, Mark, because we do cover a lot of these stories with teachers who are accused and in cases convicted of sexual misconduct with children. And it would be easy to look at the media reports and say it's just happening more. Is this something that you feel like you're seeing more of, or is it just a case we're learning about it more?
A little bit of both. We are seeing more of it because technology, as I mentioned before, allows teachers and students to privately talk to one another in what they think is a non-monitored setting. And then the other one is that it probably is happening a little bit more just because...
I ain't gonna lie, you gotta be crazy as fuck to think that the internet is not being monitored. All this shit on the internet, as high tech as you know the government is, you think this shit ain't being monitored, bro. They see me seeing you right now. I might be in here talking to myself right now, but I bet you it's 1,000 other people watching me, and it's not showing, but they watching this shit. I bet you.
The mores of society is do what feels good.
Actual viewers.
And whatever makes you feel good. Love is love, no matter what. That attitude, when taken to its extreme, brings us to situations like this. I'm sure she didn't think she was perpetuating an act of violence. I'm sure she thought it was a very loving encounter. It wasn't. It was molestation. But in her mind, I'm sure she thought she was doing something that was perfectly okay. Notwithstanding the fact that she has a degree in criminal justice and the law says it's illegal.
She had covered this story before. I had not read the part yet that she had a degree in criminal justice, which made this even more hard to make it more shocking than it already was. But that's definitely part of it. Mark Weaver, it's always great to have you on Law and Crime. Thanks for helping break this down for us. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Chris.
Chat.
That will do it for On the Case, presented by Law and Crime. Subscribe to us on YouTube and Spotify.
I would say W video, but that shit was... I need some holy water, dog. After that, pop the balloon and find love, that's what I had to come to. I'm glad I got this shit over with, though. Y'all have a nice night, bro. Have a nice night.